Start in the circle for Texas, Mac Morgan, and we are underway as the senior Morgan delivers strike number one to Aaron Peterson. Mac Morgan coming off one of her best outings in SEC play. No runs and a couple of hits friends have put out there in 7 years, a fielding percentage of .973 entering tonight. Good for top 30 in the nation. This time is called with Bailey Slack coming up to the plate. Another true freshman, a young top of the order for Ricky Woodard's squad. Texas State comes into this one 25-11 on the year, second place in the Sun Belt Conference. While Texas is 37-3, 10-2 in the SEC. Count 1-1 to Bailey Slack.
Ricky Woodard's lineup often known to have quite a bit of speed. They graduated a lot of that last year with Hannah Earls and Piper Randolph. Coach Woodard likes Bailey Slack's ability to understand the strike zone, be able to work the defense. Texas right now shifted. They have three infielders on the left side of the field, trying to take away any ground ball up the middle. See Katie Stewart there.
In there for strike two. We mentioned how Slack and Peterson at the top are freshmen.
Coach Woodard's calling time to go calm down. She does have a young infield. She has a brand new third baseman this year, a brand new shortstop, a brand new second baseman, and Ayanna Coleman is a junior. She mainly DP'd at A&M. She didn't play a whole lot of first base. So this young infield has to take a breath, reset, allow themselves to get some outs and not let Texas push the envelope and get them to hurry.
That'll be scored E6. So Texas with a couple of infield hits, one via the bunt single, and Atwood, meanwhile, reaching after the error and extends that all-time Texas record to 186 career RBI. Double check the official scoring on that as well. Texas 29-1 when scoring first.
Swing and miss right there. Alex tells me that Texas's game plan is to attack Azua early. She offered a changeup and Jolie Mitchell was already sold out on it.
By the way, again, since there was an error on that play, Atwood will stay at 185 RBIs. But regardless, bases loaded, still no outs for another Texas player having a career year at the plate. Jolie Mitchell batting a cool 400. They appeal to third. Mitchell did not go around. Today's umpires, Lyndon Baptiste behind home plate, Kaylee Young at third, and Jenna Bouillon at first. Count 2-1 to Mitchell. Jolie Mitchell drove in the game-winning runs in the 8th inning on Sunday in the series finale against Mizzou. And a couple of runs there, bringing home on a sac fly in the sweep of the Tigers. Chance already to break this thing open. We'll go to a full count.
First full count that we've seen against Azua. Texas being able to attack early so far in this game. Good discipline by Mitchell there, though, on the changeup for ball three.
She is one of the most patient hitters on the Longhorns, 99 career walks. And not a bad batting average as a team with the bases loaded, hitting .524.
Well, and tied with Reese App. Mac Morgan again leveling down in the zone. She's able to make this ball look good, and then it's down by the shins, but she's laddering downward extremely well tonight.
Mac Morgan already just one strikeout shy of her season high. And she's 5 batters into the game. Here's Megan Kellner, the junior from nearby Kyle, batting an impressive .357 on the season. 1-1.
This is a very impressive start for Mac Morgan. Not outcome based, but just watching the spots she's hitting, the way she's allowing her ball to move, and really utilizing both sides of the plate. There are some games you watch and she tends to be heavy one side, which typically is glove side. She'll go away to right-handed hitters, but we've seen her go into Anna Coleman. She tried to go in there to Kellner, so working both sides really well tonight.
She is top 5 in the nation among most wins for active pitchers. She came in at tonight 58-9 in her college career, going back to her time at Arizona State. And Kellner able to hold off.
Mac Morgan wanted that one. The senior is ultra competitive when she's in the circle.
That intense stare, payoff pitch. Kellner just stays alive. This Texas State offense averaging right around 5 runs per game. Still looking for hit number 1 on the night. Looking for base runner number 1.
In her glove gives Caden Henry an extra step. Well, Texas really testing the defense of the Bobcats.
Longhorns have been running this year, but they did end the first inning by being thrown out on both ends of a double steal. Here is Mia Scott. Dropped down a bunt single in the first inning and came around to score. Texas as a team, number 2 in the nation in batting average. They came into tonight hitting .378, just 4 points behind Indiana, who leads the country. Horns boosting that average tonight. They're 6 for 10 so far. Here's strike 1 from Azua.
Azua being careful with Mia Scott, knowing what she's capable of doing. You see Megan Kellner too, also making sure she gets eyes on Caden Henry before she throws the ball back to Azua.
2 aboard. What have you seen out of Azua? Talented underclassman, but obviously a tall task tonight against this offense.
Well, as we said earlier, Coach Ricky Woodard was very adamant that she thought this might be the best offense Texas has had in her time at Texas State, and she's been there over 20 years, so she's seen a lot of Texas lineups. So for Azua right now, you saw probably a little nerves in the first inning, and obviously with Texas jumping on her as quickly as they did, didn't have time to catch her breath. Caught her breath in the second inning, had a great 1-2-3 inning. But has to locate that backdoor curve to righties and lefties, so it's going to be arm side for her. She's not locating that pitch as well as she has in the past, and right now that's what's getting her behind these hitters.
Being careful. And the offensive onslaught continues for Texas. What a night. Here is Katie Stewart. Had a 2-run single in the first inning. Stewart, number 2 in the country in RBIs. She is on pace, by the way, to break Reese Atwood's single-season record of 90 RBIs that Atwood set last year. Stewart takes one to center, and that one's going to fall in. Again, great hustle by a Bobcats outfielder, but Slack couldn't get to it in time for the out.
Designated player number 12.
Right now, Bobcat outfield can't win. They're playing deep because you have to respect the power that Texas has, especially with Jolie Mitchell and Katie Stewart. But both athletes just muscling some weak fly balls right in front of these outfielders. They're going all out to try to snag those, but the second you play in, someone's going to beat you over your head. So right now, outfield for Texas State getting worked.
By the time tonight's over, Texas may take over that number 1 spot in the nation in batting average. They're hitting nearly 700 tonight, 9 for 13. Here's Vic Hunter getting the start. She's 0 for 1. Former number 12 recruit in the nation. Does have 6 career homers and 68 at bats. Talented sophomore out of Houston. Texas has only needed one extra base hit tonight. The rest have been singles. Keep in mind, Texas so good in this ballpark. They haven't lost here in 369 days. That one off the glove of the third baseman, Bubella, and the bases will be loaded yet again.
Well, Texas continuing to put the ball in play hard, and Vic Hunter just turns that right down the line. But this is another infield play that a young infield just unable to come up with the clutch play when you need it. And that's the big key right now for this young infield, is someone stepping up and saying, get me the ball, let me make the play. Right now, nerves and the inexperience in this type of environment really showing out.
I couldn't tell there whether it caught the glove. Rubella just went right to Peterson regardless. That is now 4 straight hits for the Longhorns. Every batter in this inning has reached so far. Here is Leanne Good, who has taken over as the everyday shortstop this year for the injured Vivi Martin.
Was throw home for the force. Julie Mitchell almost cost Texas a run there. To be honest, Alex, in the first inning, the base running on the first and third, as it went all the way through, Julie Mitchell got a late break at third as well, costing herself an out at home.
Texas is 3 for 3 with the bases loaded tonight as Texas State talks things over. Again, it is a Bobcats team that had played Texas so close as of late. 6 of the last 10 meetings have been decided by just 2 runs or less. But it is, I don't want to say rebuilding Texas State squad this year, but retooling. Again, they lost nearly 90% of their offense from a year ago, lost their ace, Jessica Mullins. And they have replaced a lot of talented players with talent as well, but young talent. Azua, the sophomore lefty who started, a couple of freshmen offensively in the top of the order, and it's been a bit too much so far tonight for the Bobcats as Bennett fouls one back. They lost names like Randolph and Earls offensively, who've been a mainstay for them for a number of years, Kat.
Well, you can say rebuilding. Really, the most experienced player is Sierra Trahan out in left field. And after that, it's Megan Kellner, who caught a lot because of her relationship with Jessica Mullins and how good they worked. But when you're talking about Bailey Slack in center, that's a freshman. Keely Williams coming over from Texas A&M, limited playing time in 2 years. Kate Bubella and Ayanna Coleman, same thing defensively, didn't play a whole lot at their respective schools prior to this. And Peterson, a freshman at shortstop. So you have a lot of new faces that don't have a lot of innings of experience in Division I softball, and even though you're 2/3 of the way through season right now, they haven't been in this environment. Their schedule this year, not as tough as some of the schedules Ricky Woodard has put together in the past, but again, she puts together her schedule knowing the team she has, the veteran leadership she has, the experience, and so getting her team into a good place so that come May, they're playing good softball.
And forget about tonight. Ricky Woodard's a coach who probably doesn't get enough credit nationally. In 25 years, approaching 870 wins, and adapted with the times when a lot of coaches have struggled to. She's gotten better up over at third with one away.
Bailey Slack puts this just down the line, and it bounces right past Jolie Mitchell. You see there, it is fair, hits off of her glove. But that hitting off the glove ricocheted it more towards the wall, and Bailey Slack has speed, so she's able to easily get to third, even with a holdup at second. Ricky Woodard was waving her the entire time, but Bobcats have a runner in scoring position.
And it looks like that last play will be under review. That was obviously close to the foul line over on the right side, the first base side, and Lyndon Baptiste and company will have another look at it.
Well, Texas has the opportunity to review it. You can review a fair ball to see if it was foul, but you cannot review a foul ball to see if it was fair. You can take Bailey Slack off the base, but not put her on. I think this is going to be upheld, though, with the angle we saw it at. But you know what? If you're Texas and Mac Morgan's throwing a no-hitter through 3 innings, you're going to go ahead and take the chance or even the perfect game on possibly getting that overturned if you can.
Well, maybe if you're Mike White, do you want the call to stand so it preserves the no-hitter?
Well, yes.
Or at least a Texas fan would.
That's true.
Here's another look.
Here you see it bounces on the chalk there, which is fair. Now it's where does it hit Jolie Mitchell's glove is the key to that play, whether it gets overturned or not.
So again, if you're a Texas fan and it is an error, not the worst thing in the world, Mac still preserves the no-no. If it's a hit, you lose everything. Perfect game. The no-hitter as well. Jolie Mitchell looks on. Continue. Take a look at the replay. Texas with 10 runs off 11 hits and that one error as of now. Texas State 0-0-1. Well, after this, the Longhorns have a big series coming up against Tennessee and then LSU. After that, we'll get one more look at. But after tonight, the Longhorns, couple of top 10 SEC series.
Yeah, Texas going to have to sharpen up and not have as many base running miscues, defensive miscues. You see there, the ball's bouncing on the chalk. But the key is, again, where does it hit Jolie Mitchell's glove? Because if it can bounce fair and bounce foul, you got a foul ball if she hasn't touched it. It's where did she touch it? Did she touch it in fair territory or foul territory? Because she's in front of the bag.
Here we go.
After further review, the call on the field is upheld. Take to the first down.
So there you go. Texas loses the challenge. So slack over at third. First error of the night by the Longhorns. Here is Keely Williams. Dribbler over to first, but that hit foul before that. So Mac still in pretty good shape in one category.
She's continuing to deal, and really for...
Well, Saturday afternoon, it'll be number 2 Oklahoma and 22nd ranked Alabama squaring off 4 p.m. Eastern. ESPN2, the series opener, and the final 2 games Sunday and Monday. Monday night, that's Mic'd Up Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern series finale on the SEC network. Texas will face number 2 Oklahoma in a few weeks. Some big opponents before that. Here is Ayanna Coleman with 2 away, and Slack still on third.
Ironically enough, Ayanna Coleman and the Bobcats have a history in this park. 2 years ago, Texas State was facing A&M for the right to play Texas in the regional championship, and Ayanna Coleman with A&M at the time actually hit the game-winning hit off the left field wall to knock the Bobcats out of that tournament.
As if there already wasn't enough of a rivalry here between Texas and Texas State, then you add a former Aggie into the mix and things get real tense.
Oh, yeah, Keely Williams and Ayanna Coleman both on the roster at A&M last year is that super regional matchup came.
Full count on the way for Morgan. Haven't been too many of those. 4 strikeouts. They all came to the first 6 batters of the contest.
Yeah, just her second 3-ball count in this game. She's been really efficient around the strike zone, forcing Texas State to have to take some swings at pitches that she stretches it.
White said even before conference play began, he knew that Tegan Kavan would probably be their day 1 and day 3 starter. SEC Network softball matchups. How about these battles? Top 10 contest between number 3 A&M and 6th ranked LSU, 3 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. And then it's number 10 Arkansas against number 11 South Carolina. A towering foul ball Meanwhile, off the bat of Katie Stewart, I was going to mention Bree Ellis and her 20 home runs for Arkansas. Katie Stewart kind of having a Bree Ellis type season, at least when you talk about RBIs.
Katie Stewart, second in the country, 62 RBIs now on the year. Just as a sophomore.
Set a freshman record last year for Texas, single season RBIs. Just a phenomenal player. 24 career home runs. The offense as a whole for Mike White, just really doing what they have done all year. Number 2 in the nation in batting average, averaging more than 8 runs per game. Popped up. Bella called off, and Peterson could not make the play. Just been that kind of a night for the Bobcats.
One tough break for Texas State right there. Presley Glenley throwing absolutely terrific so far since entering this game. Should be out number 3, but again, that's where you talk about the youth, the inexperience, and just the nerves of playing in this type of atmosphere.
And now a full count to Katie Stewart.
Alex, if I were to give you trivia and asked you how many RBIs Katie Stewart has on the road at away games, how many do you think it would be?
20-something.
9.
9.
9 at pure away games, so doesn't count neutral sites, but out of their 14 games away.
And she has
9.
62 RBIs on the year, 9 on the road.
32. And Sydney Harvey going ahead and driving one up the middle. Lane Brister was playing her in as a slapper, which she is not, or she was not at that point in time.
I mean, you know from experience, when you're 1 out away, 1 strike away from a no-hitter, are you thinking about it? Is it on your mind?
Yes, absolutely. You know what you're doing, unless you're absolutely in some crazy zone and you're never looking at the scoreboard. But you know what you're doing, and that's where I said that 1 strike to Bubella. She might have been overthrowing a little bit, trying to force the out.
Texas State trying to get out of run rule territory down to their last outs. Peterson potentially could get them there with the home run. They would need, again, to avoid being down by 8 when we hit the bottom half. This one poked foul. Count 0-2 to the freshman. 0 for 2 on the night.
You can see the bottom half the second time through the order, and now Peterson seeing Mac Morgan for a 3rd time. You can see them starting to get their barrel out a little bit earlier than they were, and that's what Coach Woodard talked about in her interview. They weren't starting on time. They were too far behind with the speed of Morgan.
Throw back to first. Play on.
But now you can see the Bobcats starting to get a little bit of timing against the speed of Morgan.
Don't run yourself out of the game. You need 3 runs regardless. Here we go. Again, the 1-2 with 2 away. Peterson just stays alive. Texas, at the very least, looking to rack up another shutout. They have 10 on the season. Foul the other way.
Well, you can tell Peterson's just trying to hang in there. Fouling off both sides. Has to find a way to poke this through the infield, past the bat, but Texas State going to have to come up with a rally. As you mentioned, 3 runs are going to have to score in order for this game to continue.
Peterson works the count even at 2. Summer ball.